Hello, everyone. It's your boy Jeff, back with you after a fairly long absence. Sorry about that. But it's been a good weekend, and I'll tell you why. On Friday, I went to the first estate sale that I've been to since since 2019, since way before the pandemic, and was not successful with records. That really wasn't the reason why I went, but I was successful. And I've posted this on Facebook already. For those of you who may not have seen it, I got this Zenith tabletop radio, circa late 50s, maybe 1960. There's a sticker on the back of this thing that says 1960. I'm guessing that's when they bought it. I'm not sure, but I did pop the back off of this thing. And it works. The only thing that doesn't work is the tuner. So you turn this dial and this is supposed to move, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna have to do some more research on it. But I got this for like 17 bucks. So pretty cheap all in all, I thought. And it just needs cleaning and maybe a little work. And I could have a nice tube set radio to go with the Telefunken. Because I like stuff like this. And I've kind of wanted to have, like an old school tabletop radio from, the good old days when they knew how to make radios that would last forever. So checked that off of my to-do list for the things that haven't been done since before the pandemic. And just this morning I went to my first record show since before the pandemic, the Hillside Record Show, which is event that used to take place a couple times a year, alternating with Countryside, I believe, which is a much smaller show. The Hillside show is way bigger, and I've always had good luck there, and today was no exception. So just quickly want to show you what I got. It was only 5 albums, but 3 of them were big checks off of my want list. And the last album I'll show you is one of my grails that if I'd only found this one record at the show, I would have walked away happy man. But I got more. I got 5. First up, King Curtis live at the Fillmore East. I've seen this make the rounds on the VC and on Instagram, and I like King Curtis. He's a sax player, but he covers a lot of good songs on this one. He does Whiter Shade of Pale, Whole Lot of Love, Ode to Billy Joe, which I'm really quite interested in listening to, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and Soul Serenade. So yeah, all of these records are in pretty darn good condition. And yeah, this was actually the first thing I got when I made it to that show. So that was cool. And I had $100 cash, and I walked out with $4. So not too bad. My friend Emma is a big fan of John Mayall, as you well know if you watch your videos, and you should be watching your videos. 8 Vinyl Low. If you haven't checked her out, check her out. And majority of the things that I was looking at in the show were blues based. So of course I came across a lot of Mayall, and I found this. I think it's his 3rd album. I'm not sure. Emma, you probably would know better than that. If you don't have this, I can easily send it to you. It's this album features Mick Taylor on guitar, and it came out in 1967. It's called Crusade, and it still has John McPhee in the lineup on bass, John Mayall, of course, Keith Hartley on drums, Chris Mercer on tenor sax, and Rip Cant on baritone sax. Still in the original London Records inner. and the record itself is in really, really nice shape. So if you already have this one, Emma, no problem. I'll happily keep it. But if you don't, let me know, and it's yours. They had a buttload of mail there. So I only grabbed this because there was a sticker on the bag that said Mick Taylor. So I took a closer look, and I'm guessing this came out after a hard road because, of course, on the back cover, you have, I'm assuming these were the two previous albums. You have Beano and A Hard Road. So, and talking about string of classic runs, I mean, how good was John Mayall? How lucky was John Mayall to have one album with Eric Clapton on guitar, the following album with Peter Green on guitar, and then this album with Mick Taylor on guitar. And you guys all know that Mick Taylor went on to play with the Rolling Stones through most of their best albums in the late 60s and early 70s. So, yeah. Very happy to get this one. And like I said, Emma, if you need it, you got it. Now, these next three were checks off of the want list. I've been looking for all three of these for quite some time. Patience pays off. And I got Super Session with Mike Bloomfield, Al Cooper, and Stephen Stills. It is a 2-eye Columbia in very, very nice condition. Here's just the back cover. And you guys know how big of a fan I am of the Columbia 2-eyes. I already know this is going to sound amazing. And it almost doesn't even look like it needs cleaning. That's in what good shape it's in. So, very happy to get Super Session. I'm already familiar with this record. It's just one of those things that I know I could have picked up a reissue at some point. And I just happened to come across it in my flipping through boxes, and it was a good price. I only got this for $20. And for a 2-eye, it's probably an early pressing, so I'll take it. Next up, another one that I've been looking for quite some time. Stop Making Sense by Talking Heads. This was their live album from 1984. Always liked the live versions of a lot of these songs on here, like Psycho Killer, Burning Down the House, Once in a Lifetime, Take Me to the River. I'm not a huge Talking Heads fan, but I always had my eye out for this one, and this was actually the last one I bought for the day, and I had just enough money to cover getting it, so that was it. I had good discipline in this show. I didn't go over my allotted amount, and I still got just about everything I wanted. So, Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. Good stuff. And now, this last one was the most expensive record of the day, but I don't really care about that. I'd never seen this in the wild before. Never seen it in person anywhere. And all of the copies that I saw online were for quite large sums of money. As far as I know, it's never been reissued, and it is Luther Allison's first album, Bad News Is Coming. Andrew from Tales from the Crate showed this on one of his videos like 2 or 3 years ago, and he gave us a taste with a needle drop. I really liked it, and I'd been on the lookout for one ever since. And damn it, I found one today. It's on the Gordy label. Luther Allison was originally signed. Oh, it's upside down. Here we go. He was originally signed by Berry Gordy. That ultimately fell through. He didn't last very long on that label. But for good, raw blues guitar and vocals, this album kicks ass. This was one of my most wanted albums for a while now. So when I found it just sitting in one of the boxes as I'm flipping through the blues section, I blinked and I just grabbed it right away, and there was a guy next to me who's like, "Oh man, I really want that record too." And I'm like, I just looked at him and I'm like, sorry, buddy. And the seller was standing right in front of me. And he's like, yeah, give me 50 for this. He had like 55 was originally the price. I happily paid it. That was the cheapest I've ever seen one of these records. It's in excellent condition, both the cover and the record. So this was the one, if I'd only found this at the show, I would have walked out a happy man and considered the show a success. But, I got the other ones that I just showed you too, which is great. But this was the one. So big check off the want list with this record. So very happy to have Bad News Is Coming by Luther Allison. This will be popping up on my Facebook and Instagram probably later today. So I'll be playing this before you know it. Very happy to get this one, and I told the seller he made my show when I got this record. So that's it. Pretty busy weekend, pretty busy day already so far, and pretty successful record show. So I'm happy. Oh, and I went, my wife has told me to remind you, I had my Park Avenue Records shirt in the show, and I also went in with my triangle vinyl record bag. So my Florida brothers, Tim and Brad, you guys were represented at this show. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. It's a pretty good day so far. I'm pretty happy, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. So until next time, peace. It's your boy Jeff. I'll see ya.